Hi guys, so let's talk about what went down tonight on the exhibition fight between Floyd Mayweather and John Gotti III. Those two actually started fist fighting in the ring, and then we'll talk about what happened afterwards with Joseline Hernandez fighting her cast member, Big Lex. Okay, so let's start with the main event. Now, we've all heard of the notorious mobster John Gotti, aka the Teflon Don. They actually called him the Teflon Don because he was charming, and for a lot of years he managed to beat the cases brought up against him, until he couldn't do it anymore. He ended up going to prison and dying in prison of cancer. But with that being said, the public actually adored John Gotti. They rooted for him. They would applaud for him when he would go places. He was very much loved, even though he was a serial emmer, okay? We know what you have to do in the mob to get to be the boss. So when his father passed away, John Gotti Jr. stepped in to be the not-so-loved mob boss. In fact, that's kind of putting it lightly. I would say it was a fair and accurate statement to say that John Gotti Jr. was actually hated as a mob boss. He was hated. They said that he didn't know what he was doing. He was spoiled. They actually hated him. In fact, they didn't respect him at all. And everybody knew the reason that he was boss is because his father made him the boss. He actually skipped rank and put his kid in charge.
We watched, John Gotti Jr. came to the Bergen Club each day. Being the acting boss, and that's what the FBI says he is, he derives his power from his father, who will remain boss in jail. But that makes Junior the street boss, the youngest in history. That means between visits to his father once a month in Marion prison, he calls the shots.
Now, some of you might say putting a 25-year-old in charge of anything is risky, but making him the head of the mob? Well, that's just unheard of. Ultimately, John Gotti Jr. would end up spending 6.5 years in prison and then quitting the mob when he got out. Now, if you're thinking, who quits the mob and lives to talk about it? Because when you take that Cosa Nostra pledge, it used to mean for life, but somehow they want us to believe that John Gotti Jr. is out of the mob. But for the sake of this video, let's just say that he is out of the mob. That doesn't mean he still doesn't have mob ties and mob friends. So let's fast forward to the night of the fight, where his son, John Gotti III, is having an exhibition fight with Floyd Mayweather. So John Gotti III is an MMA fighter with a record of 5-1. I really don't know who was in Gotti's camp that told him it was a good idea to fight one of the best fighters of all time, Floyd Mayweather, with a record of 50 wins and 0 losses and 27 KOs. Maybe they thought because of the age difference that Floyd would be, old and forgot how to fight. Floyd Mayweather is 40, Gotti is 30. But anyway, once the fight started, Floyd was clearly beating this kid up, okay, if you want to call him a kid. He was doing it with ease, like he's a champ, like the champion that he is. Of course, in the middle of doing this, he was talking trash to Gotti because that's what Floyd does to every boxer. Matter of fact, he's not the only boxer that talks trash when he's boxing. I mean, it's just part of boxing handed down by the legend Muhammad Ali. Trash talking is a part of boxing. But I don't know who forgot to tell the mobster kid, but he starts catching feelings while they're fighting. So they're both talking trash to each other. Mobster kid is getting angrier and angrier. The ref tries to tell both of them, calm down, stop. And all of a sudden, mobster kid loses his cool and charges Floyd Mayweather after the bell. Gotti's people jump in, and then, of course, Floyd Mayweather's people say, not on our watch, and then they jump in the ring.
That's it. He can stop him. That's it.
tell you, people, it was a hot mess. I think that Gotti the third forgot that this isn't the mob, okay? You can't just go around beating people up because things aren't going your way. Your mobster friends aren't allowed to jump in and stiff arm people. I mean, it was a mess, people, a hot mess. But at the end of the day, I think John Gotti III was really upset because they really pumped him up and he really thought that he was going to win the fight when not only was he not winning, he had this old man, because that's what they consider Floyd Mayweather, just really throwing him around as almost as if they were the same age. And his ego just couldn't take it, especially when they had groomed him to win.
There's a kid named John Gotti III. It's John Gotti, the gangster's grandson. And he's an MMA fighter. And he's good. He's fucking people up.
They actually promoted him as the Lion. So that is a lot of pressure being put on him. So he couldn't handle it and he snapped and it just turned into a hot mess. But that wasn't the only fight that went down that night. As a matter of fact, I think Joseline should have been the headliner. She should have been the main event, not Floyd Mayweather. So Joseline gets into a knockdown, drag-out fight with her cast member, Big Lex. Now, before I can show you the portions of the fight that I'm allowed to show, and it's not much, people, it's not much, because Joseline really beat her to a pulp. Beat her out of her clothes, her breast was flying around, wig fell off, even the stocking cap fell off. Before I can show you all of that, I want to show you a clip of last season when Big Lex was complaining about Joseline putting her hands on people even back then. Take a listen to this.
We gotta talk about it real quick. You know what I'm saying? A lot of drama been in the headlines recently with Joseline. And I know like y'all ain't have the best relationship. But what you think about it? Like I know like apparently Joseline kicked one of the people that's on the show. Yeah. You think that's true? Like how you feel about it? I think it's true.
I think everything she did it. She a slime ball. But Joseline don't understand her position. You feel me? Sometimes you put people in position and they just don't understand it. Like she doesn't understand she's a host. She be getting in her feelings too much about shit. You gotta keep your feelings out of stuff. And that's what she be doing. But I don't think it's appropriate for her to be kicking bitches in their ribs and stuff like that. But I be in Miami all the time and I be ready to pull up on this bitch on a ski boat. Like
on Joseline?
On a jet ski. Like yeah. Like, because I supported what she thought she had going on, but it's like at a certain point in time, it's like, damn, like, you ain't gotta do all that. Like, if you got bitches that's gonna back you up, let the bitches back you up. Like, I feel like Joseline need to stay in her position, to stay ahead of shit, instead of mixing herself into the
drama.
Yeah,
okay,
and it's a little corny.
Now, you can look at this a whole bunch of different ways. She did say that when she got to Miami, she was ready to pull up on Joseline. Joseline could look at that as a threat. But in the same breath, she's talking facts. When is the last time we've seen an executive producer fist fight anybody? And to that degree, she actually kicked her, kept kicking her repeatedly in the ribs, punched her, pulled her wig off, pulled the stocking cap off, pulled her clothes off. Everybody was trying to stop her. It was really, really bad. And this is just the parts that I can show you. And this is not much, people, because anything else would set off the censors.
Back up. Hey, yo. I swear.
And I forgot to mention, she also would fight anybody that tried to hold her back. It was a couple men that tried to hold her back, and she actually punched them, closed fist and all, in the face. Now, there are several ways that you can look at this situation. One, you could be like, oh my God, something needs to be done. She shouldn't be doing this, especially if she's the executive producer. I'm appalled. I can't believe this is happening. That's one way you can look at it. Another way you can look at it as, this is the Zeus Network. This is what they're known for. Anybody that signs up to be on any of their shows, they can expect a beatdown at any minute. So if you go on the Zeus Network, you know what you're signing up for. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section.